Well, good afternoon, Central Georgia. The topic of conversation over the past couple of days has been the potential for severe weather for this weekend. Now that potential has increased, and now we have issued a weather impact alert for late night Saturday heading into early Sunday morning. So I'm going to pull up the weather impact graphic right here, and I'm going to make it full screen, putting it to max 1. So there's an increased likelihood that we could see severe storms. Now, this is once again another overnight situation. Over the past couple of months and actually past couple of springs, most of the storms have been in the overnight, so early morning for especially Sunday. Now, what are the threats? We could see gusty winds and thunderstorms. So, of course, with increased chances of severe weather, anytime there's a severe thunderstorm warning, we'll see winds of up to 60 miles per hour. I think we could see somewhere even more than that, even stronger winds for this system, increased chances of hail. And then typically with these types of systems, the tornadoes are generally weak in nature. You hear us use the term spin up tornadoes, brief, but unfortunately there's just ingredients in the atmosphere that could cause some multiple tornadoes to spawn, and it could potentially be strong. So that is not out of the likelihood, but I'll go over the details coming up. Now, the future view, the timing exactly, shows that for Saturday, it's actually going to be a mainly dry day. Actually, it could be sunny in the morning. Cloud cover will increase a little bit in the afternoon and evening, but once we get into the late night portions, there it is. There's the front that's approaching our neck of the woods. It's actually supposed to hit Atlanta right around midnight. Early morning, let's say 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, that's when it's creeping into our northwestern counties. So counties such as Monroe, Jasper County, Upson County, could be clipping Taylor County at this point, progressively moving into our area. So 4, maybe even 5 in the morning, the leading edge will approach Macon. And now, thankfully, our short-range models are now a little bit extended, so we can have a better picture of this. By 6 in the morning, progressively going into Wilkinson County, Lawrence County, Bleckley County, and then this is as far as our short-range model can go, so the future view. That's where it has the storms moving into Lawrence County, so Dublin, 7 to 8 in the morning, and unfortunately we can't go farther than that. But for the chunk of the morning, the system or the front itself will be affecting us for that time. And then the afternoon and evening is going to be, once again, beautiful. So because of this front and this system, for Saturday, and this also includes early morning Sunday, most of our northwestern counties are under a level 3 out of 5 risk for severe weather. So generally, in terms of severe weather, we see level 2 risks at most. We saw a level 2 a week ago. We saw a couple of level 2s already this year. The last time we had a level 3 risk was in early May, and we had 2 tornadoes occur during that time. We had a tornado in Dodge County. We also had a tornado in Wheeler County, specifically Alamo. They were both an EF1 tornado specifically. So level 3 risks are rare here in Central Georgia. So that is why we are issuing that weather impact alert, especially earlier than usual. The rest of Central Georgia, either in a level 2 or a level 1, actually the majority of the western counties are under a level 2. So I'm going to highlight the specific areas. Half of Bibb County, half of Jones County, all of Baldwin, half of Putnam County, all of Hancock County, all of Washington County, all of Johnson County, all of Lawrence County, portions of Trutland County, portions of Wheeler, portions of Telfair County, Dodge County, Wilcox County, Pulaski County, and then the good majority of Dooley and all of Crisp. For the areas under the level 1, which is portions of Telfair, Wheeler, all of Montgomery, and portions of Trutland, I think they are going to be included into a level 2 in future outlooks. Once again, we're still 3 days ahead of the storm, so there could be many changes with the outlooks, but I think all of Central Georgia will either be into a level 3 or a level 2 risk for Saturday and for early morning Sunday. Now I'm going to go and show the future view winds. I'm going to zoom it into Saturday just to show you what it could do during that time. So before the front's arrival, winds will pick up. And this is generally a characteristic that happens before a front. Winds increase in speed, and during the afternoon, as I just showed you, it's going to be dry. It's actually going to be partly cloudy in the afternoon, sunny in the morning, but the winds will increase dramatically. So we're going to see gusts of up to 30 miles per hour during this time. So it's going to be gusty throughout the day. And then, of course, once that front moves in, wind speeds increase dramatically, especially on that leading edge of the front where we'll have strong straight line winds. Now here I'm going to show you the dynamics. So I'll show you the humidity. Humidity is one of the ingredients needed for storms to develop and one of the fuel for storms to survive, because without this, you can't have storms either developing or continuing. Humidity levels will actually be a little high for this time of year. By Saturday afternoon, we'll see an influx of humidity. And then by Saturday late night, Sunday morning, you'll see just widespread green, and you can also see some dark green for portions of the panhandle. That just means that the moisture is there, so the fuel is there for these storms to fire up and to be robust in nature. Now, I'm going to show you the tornado parameter because I mentioned earlier, tornadoes typically during this time or during every season here in central Georgia, spin-ups, short-lived and generally weak. However, we have some ingredients for this system that could cause some supercells ahead of the main front because of increased wind shear. So with that, we'll see an increased chance of tornadoes for the westernmost counties, so Upson County, Taylor County, Macon County, even going into Crawford, Peach County. So everywhere west of I-75, they have an increased chance of tornadoes. Now, the good thing is for all of central Georgia and in general is that these storms are going to lose steam once it moves into our area. So once it moves across I-75, there you go. The tornado chances just disappeared right there, and the storms should lose steam. It should weaken as it progressively moves east into our area, so into places such as Wilkinson, Twiggs, Lawrence County. This could change, but this is what we're currently seeing from all of our models, which is a good sign. Unfortunately for the westernmost counties, Taylor, Macon, Crawford, Peach, and Houston County, they just have to stay extra vigilant during that time. Now I'm going to go into the rainfall just to show you how much we're expecting and if we have a flood risk. The Ocmulgee River has actually already been high, especially with some of the rain from last month. But the bulk of the rain from the front will affect Atlanta. Atlanta could see up to 3 inches, potentially up to 4 inches of rain. But we're not expecting much here, an inch or an inch and a half. So that could potentially cause some minor flooding, but that's not our biggest concern at all. I think the impacts from rain are going to be minimal at most. Now I'm going to go to the temperatures. I'm just going to fly through here just to give you a little recap of the temperatures for the next couple days. It's going to be warm. Morning lows, as you just saw, we didn't reach the 40s. We're going to be into the 50s. There we go. And then back into the mid to upper 70s for tomorrow afternoon. So we're continuously warming up. 60s Saturday morning, mid 50s. And then once again, into the 70s, and we could see 80s for Saturday. So that is that's enough to heat up the atmosphere, because the two things you need for storms is moisture and for warm air. So that energy is just going to be present once that front moves in, and the front has cold air behind it. So when you have cold air and warm air clashing together, that warm air rises, and that is the reason why we'll have the line of thunderstorms moving in. But whenever you have a temperature difference such as 80 degrees at that point, that's also a thing to keep an eye out on the severity of the storms. So here are the tropical headlines. Here's what we're expecting. So I just showed you the day 3 outlook for when the storms will move in and the risks for each area in central Georgia. Treat everywhere like a level 2 or 3 for the overnight. You saw a level 1 I expect that to be upgraded for the future outlooks. And with this system, the severe weather chances are increasing. So all of the impacts are on the table. So of course, damaging winds, that's the thing that we always look for these types of systems. Straight line winds, and then the increased chances of hail, heavy rain, and then unfortunately, we also have the chances for tornadoes, mainly for our westernmost counties. So since this is an overnight event, and we've been preaching this all throughout the past couple of months since most of our storms are throughout the overnight, have a way to receive alerts, because most of us are going to sleep. Most of us are trying to get some rest. So have a way to have an alert that wakes you up and notifies you if you're within a tornado warning. That is going to be the most important thing. Some of the things that you could do to ensure that you have a way to receive alerts. One, having wireless emergency alerts. I know your phone setting, if you go into your notifications, you can turn on emergency alerts. I think there's another thing you can do to ensure that you'll get notified during a warning. And also you could do it through the National Weather Service. And then of course our 13 WMAZ mobile app. Now I'm gonna go right now to show you a live cam of downtown Macon. So that is the briefing. That is what I had to say about the potential storms for this weekend. But we also have the potential for storms for later this afternoon and evening. We're actually seeing some storms fire up just to the west of us. And right now the current temperature is 74 degrees. Now I'm going to take that back, and you can see a bunch of bugs clouding the cameras. But notice the clouds. The clouds are very summer-like in nature. They're cumulus clouds, but I've seen some clouds in the Skycam that have been cumulonimbus, meaning that they're growing, it is warm, and they're expanding. And that's typically what we see in the summertime. And I think that's what we're going to see today. Hit or miss stuff. I'm sorry for showing you that temperature thing once again, but there you go. Temperatures, mid to upper 70s. The ground has been warmed up. We've been into a really warm stretch for the past week. So that's just providing the fuel, the instability into the air. And the humidity, not so extreme, not so high, not something that we see in the summertime where we see muggy values into the 70s, but still enough to aid the development of storms. Now I'm going to show you the satellite radar. We have a severe thunderstorm warning just west of Taylor County, south of Columbus. These are the storms that we've been talking about. Alex Pry and I, scattered storms, and as you can see, there's a storm just north of Upson County that the storms that could pack a punch. They're not affecting everyone. Not everyone are seeing rain or storms. Actually, everyone's mainly dry. But because of the ingredients in the atmosphere, we're just seeing these storms pop up just like a July or early August day. And with, let's say, we just had daylight saving. So that means a longer day. We have a later sunset. So we have more potential for the ground to heat up. And if these storms just carry over, if they're able to be sustained, they could potentially come into our most western counties. So that's something that we're going to keep an eye on. But the bulk of the showers, the bulk of the thunderstorms, that's mainly towards the south in the Panhandle in Florida, just north of Panama City. So because of that, we have a level 1 out of 5 risk for severe weather for our most western and southwestern counties. So all of Upson County, all of Taylor County, Macon County, Dooley County, Crisp, Wilcox, portions of Dodge, Telfair, all of Pulaski, portions of Houston, actually most of Houston, most of Peach, and most of Crawford. And this is actually correlating to what we're seeing in the satellite radar. It's actually matching up really well. So the SPC did a great job. And here is your 7-day forecast. 30% chance. This is because, as you saw through the satellite radar, they're just very isolated. So hit or miss in nature. Not everyone is seeing rain or even some thunderstorms. And then tomorrow, mainly dry. The main thing to keep an eye out is the warm temperature. So afternoon highs once again into the 70s, and then once again into the 80s for Saturday. Actually, the 7-day forecast just updated. So around 3 o'clock, the 7-day forecast jumps a day. So when it's supposed to be Saturday, and Sunday. It's showing Sunday and Monday. So that is wrong. So I'll just update that real quick. I'm going to put back the tropical headlines. But the main message is it's going to be warm for the next couple of days, and we have a way for moisture to be transported into our area. So that's why this is a little bit different than the other types of fronts that we see during this time of year. During this time of year, it's just straight line winds coming in. Severe weather is not guaranteed. And then if we do see a tornado, spin up, short-lived, weak in nature, but because of just some factors in the atmosphere that just came together at the right time, we just have an added concern towards this weekend storm's potential. So that is everything that I have. I'm going to go full screen once again. But once again, we've been through this. I just mentioned earlier in the stream, we've been through 2 level 3s in the past year, early May and in early April. So we know what type of weather that we could experience. So all that I'm asking is if you stay prepared, if you just have a way to receive alerts, and if you know any potential safe spots in your house or in your residence, you'll be fine. There's no need to be scared or anxious. Once again, Ben Jones and I, we have this motto where we say we're the hand that follows you throughout the storm. We'll calm you throughout. So once this front moves in, we'll continuously provide coverage all throughout the event to keep you informed and to keep you safe as well. So that is all the time, or that's all the information that I have right now. Ben Jones is forecasting for the 5 and the 6, so he'll have some more details regarding the system. And with that, have a beautiful day, Central Georgia.